WordPress maintenance, WordPress housekeeping, what happens if you don't update WordPress, what happens if you don't update the plugins. If you're watching this video and you've just taken over a WordPress website, or you've taken over one of my websites and you're logged in and there's a whole bunch of outdated plugins or plugins, you're not sure what to do with them. So what is WordPress? WordPress is a website builder. It's a content management system, CMS. In other words, it's just a tool to build websites out of hundreds of tools out there that are used to build websites. It's the one that is most commonly chosen, is most popular, definitely most desirable for SEOs like me, to search engine optimization. And so you have to understand the way WordPress works, without any technical jargon, is WordPress is essentially a skeleton, right? And to add to that skeleton, it's kind of like building a house. WordPress is the foundation that the house sits on. And then there are plugins and themes, essentially add-ons to WordPress. Now, each of these add-ons can come at a certain cost. Some add-ons are free, but lots are paid. And when you pay for add-ons and they're called plugins, you get some sort of a benefit. The benefit is either time, security, it does all sorts of stuff. Most of it falls down to time and cost. So paying for that plugin at $50 or $100 or whatever it is for the year will give you some sort of a service, a benefit, like a SaaS, right? If you've taken one of my websites over, or you've taken another website over and you've logged in and you're wondering what the hell to do, first of all, have you done this before? If you haven't done this before, I strongly suggest not touching any of the plugins and speak to someone that understands WordPress. Don't message me. Go speak to someone that has experience in WordPress. You can find people on Fiverr, onlinejobs.ph, Upwork. Just make sure they show a track record of understanding cPanel, plugin maintenance, WordPress. And your options are, the first question is, what happens to WordPress when it does not get updated? You get hacked. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. If a WordPress doesn't get updated or plugins don't get updated, similar to what happens to your laptop or computer when you don't have up-to-date antivirus, you've got outdated software, you begin to have trouble with software. Things corrupt, things conflict. If you don't have unique passwords for things, if you don't look after your passwords, you will get hacked. Same with WordPress, if not updated. It's not that someone targets you specifically and they just go after you. It's that there are huge bot farms out there. They're essentially robots, and those robots, their only job is to crawl the internet and search for vulnerabilities in websites, particularly WordPress, because it's the most commonly used. Because it's the most commonly used, you generally attract questionable behavior. Kind of like back in the day, PCs got more viruses because there were more PCs. So yeah, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So WordPress itself needs to be updated. When you update WordPress, it's updating the operating system on your computer. You update to Windows 10 or Windows 11 or whatever, you might find some software stops working. You might need to update Photoshop, you might need to update Adobe Reader and things like that. Same with WordPress. The plugins are essentially a piece of software that helps you with the website. For example, a plugin might be a page builder. A page builder is what you use to actually build aesthetic elements of the website, adding text, adding images, adding headers, adding footers, essentially the visual side of the website. There might be a plugin there for speed optimization to make your website faster, and that's good for SEO. Website load times are extremely important. There might be a plugin there for additional add-ons, additional elements, additional buttons, certain animations. There might be a plugin there for SEO purposes that will help with Google Index, Google Analytics. Now, all of these things, you don't have to use my plugins. You don't have to use the plugins that we used to build the website with. Every web developer, every agency has their own set of tools. There's plenty of ways to skin the cat. Just things to keep in mind. If you do not update the plugins, you most likely will get hacked. I'm just someone that manages hundreds of sites. Even the most up-to-date sites have a chance to get hacked. It's just when you take these precautions, like you change the login screen of WordPress, you keep things updated, you keep things backed up, you keep things on Cloudflare, for example, another paid tool that you could pay for. There's a free version. But all of these things minimize the chance of risk, right? So if you take over a site and you've got $1,000 worth of plugins that you all of a sudden need to pay for or choose what to do with it, your options are pay for them, but have those plugins removed and take into consideration what those plugins did. For example, one plugin that you can instantly remove from my site is a tool called All-in-One Migration. It's simply what I use to migrate websites and make easy backups. Some hosts automatically have Acronis backups, so you don't need that. But you lose the ability to make certain backups. A lot of people won't need that, so bang, you can remove that plugin. Then there are SEO plugins, SEO Press, Yoast SEO. Ultimately, you don't need them. If SEO is not important to you, if you just want this website to be a business card website, you can delete that plugin or install the free version of SEO Press or Yoast. Now, I don't expect you as the business owner to go and figure this out. So the first thing that you need to do is, one, ask yourself, what am I expecting from this website in the next few years? If it's literally just to have a business card type website, then you potentially don't need anything, right? And then my question would be, why wouldn't you just, might be worth having this website rebuilt into like a landing page, almost like a one-pager, Wix or Weebly, Squarespace, which is in the long run much cheaper to host. But if you do want your website to have the agility to progress through the ranks, to be able to update it regularly without needing to use code, without needing to hire or pay a specialist, then I suggest you flick through the plugins, understand what they do. For example, the last thing you want to remove is the page builder. If you remove the page builder and replace it with another one, it basically means you will need to rebuild all of the pages with whatever page builder you want to use. I've got a rock in my bike, one second. It's annoying me. So I've definitely rambled on longer than I expected, but if you've taken over a WordPress website, let's hypothetically say it's mine, it's got 7 premium plugins, you don't have to use my tools. You just need to remove the plugins and make sure whatever elements they were holding up, the foundation, for example, need to be either rebuilt or make sure that the site doesn't crash. The last plugin that you probably should remove is the page builder, because that essentially is like removing the paint and the walls from your house, right? You will need to repaint, you will need some sort of a page builder. I haven't seen a single one that is good and is free, right? You pay for it one way or another. Your other option is, if you don't want much from this site, if it's literally just a business card site, doesn't need to rank or anything like that, is, I don't know, if you don't want to pay these plugin fees, you don't want to pay crazy hosting fees, you should consider paying someone to rebuild the site one last time and rebuild it in something like Wix or Weebly or Squarespace, or compare that with the cost of someone jumping into the site, pulling out all the plugins and custom coding things in, so cementing things in. Just be mindful jumping in yourself, pressing buttons, uninstalling things, because you can very easily pull the whole site down. I hope that helps, and I hope that answers some of the questions that you might have on WordPress plugins, the costs to maintain this, and hope it helps.